Hey girl! What's up, Kaiju gang? Kaiju gang, 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 Kaiju gang. Gonna suck a fat dick and a hairy one. Kaiju gang. Kaiju gang. What up? Oh god. What's going on, everyone? I'm just going to edit a video till some people show up. Yeah, I'm editing a vlog about Gamera right now. What's up, everyone? I don't see anything in the chat. I don't know if that's just me or what. Yeah, I was Hey GG1954, what's up? I've been doing a lot of editing today. I just opened a Word document. I did not mean to do that. You know what I want on Blu-ray? Pulgasari. I'm editing my vlog about Gamera and the Monsterverse right now. What's up, Godzilla Hybrid? What's up, Mason Reyes? Gamera. Yeah, I'm editing while I'm waiting for people to show. Because it says there's only one person. I see 3 of you in chat, but it says there's only one person watching. Well, I'm kind of waiting to gather up some people. I'm editing this vlog about Godzilla 2014 ends with the big G himself. Gamera. Every time I stream, this friend calls me. I'm going to let him know I'm streaming. I really like when he calls me. I just wish he didn't do it every time I was streaming. Yeah, this vlog I'm editing is largely about how the Monsterverse portrays its monsters and how Gamera has been portrayed that way basically since his inception, which makes him perfect for the Monsterverse. Did I tell you guys that I ordered some independent kaiju films from SRS Cinema? Hey, Darth Vader 21, what's going on? I ordered. I don't know if you guys have seen Konga, Konga. It's a giant ape film. Obviously, it's pretty stupid, but they made a sequel to it called Konga TNT, which just came out several days ago, and I ordered it off the SRS Cinema website because they're the only one distributing it. There's only 2. They're making 200 Blu-ray copies and 50 VHS copies, and that's it. So when SRS releases a kaiju film, I always get it right away because if I don't, I'm going to miss out on it. So I got Konga TNT, and the cool thing about Konga TNT is it's a true piece of quarantine art because all the scenes are they use a bunch of stock footage because they couldn't go out and make new footage. And it's also got a bunch of people filming in front of green screens in their living rooms and stuff because they're quarantined. And I think it's going to be super fun. I wish I still had a copy of the first Konga. I used to have it on VHS because one time I had this party, and I was at this store and I found a bunch of $1 VHS copies of Konga. And so everyone who came to my party got a VHS copy of Konga back in the day when people still watched VHSs. which is pretty fun. And then I also ordered Howl from Beyond the Fog. All of you have probably heard of Howl from Beyond the Fog, that puppet movie. Very artistic, very beautiful. The Kaiju Nebula looks really cool. I cannot wait to get both of those. I should have ordered them in the same shipment. It would have saved me like $3, $4. But the thing was, I searched Conga TNT because I was just looking for Conga TNT. I wasn't just casually checking the SRS website. I searched Conga TNT and then I bought Conga TNT and I was like, oh, okay. Let me just hop on the website and see if they got any more fun, stupid shark movie trailers or something. And then, like, their newest film was Howl from Beyond the Fog. And I was like, well, I have to get Howl from Beyond the Fog. They're only making 200 copies. And I think the 50 VHS copies already sold out. Yeah, SRS is still releasing VHSs. They're as collector's items, not exactly as something that you're supposed to watch. It's like, I guess it's kind of the same as releasing records, except people still listen to records. I don't know, man. But yeah, SRS has given us a lot of kaiju media. They're the ones that released the Raiga trilogy. I already reviewed Raigo on the second channel. I need to review Raiga and God Raiga versus King Oga soon. Yeah, Howl from Beyond the Fog it's gorgeous. I don't know if you've seen the trailers, but the trailers give like nothing away because there's no narration or anything in the trailers, and they look so beautiful. What else we got here? Have you seen 24? No, I don't really watch that type of TV show normally. I hear it's really good though. Basically, the only TV show I'm watching right now is The Simpsons. My goal is to finish The Simpsons through season 31 before the year ends. So I got 2 months to finish The Simpsons, and I'm on season 27. 2 months to finish The Simpsons. And then I'll start season 32 on Hulu. But yeah, I'm basically only watching The Simpsons right now. I have not seen 24. My grandpa used to be a big fan of 24. What do you think of The Last of Us Part 2? I don't really play video games. I mentioned this in a previous stream. Not a big gamer. Haven't played the first Last of Us. Haven't played the second Last of Us. I don't know anything about them except that the zombie things look like Matango. That's all I know. It's got Matango ass looking ass zombie ass zombies. I actually got a digital copy of Matango, but it was like the audio on it was Japanese, and I thought it was going to have subtitles, but then it didn't have subtitles, and I was like, what the fuck? Why did I get this copy of Matango without subs? And there is a dubbed version called like Attack of the Mushroom People or something, but I don't want to watch the dub. I want to watch the sub. Like, for most things, I don't really care if I watch the dub or sub, but for Matango, since it's kind of horror-y, I want to do the sub, because I don't feel like the dub will do that specific film justice. I will be right back. I'm taking a bathroom break. So, there, that's so people who join the stream know where I am. I'll be right back. Insolent boy, this slave of fashion, basking in your glory. Ignorant fool, this brave young suitor, sharing in my triumph. Angel, I hear you speak, I listen. Stay by my side, guide me. Angel, I'm always here, forgive me. Who is this strange tutor? Christy, you must have been dreaming. Stories like this can't come true. Christine, you're talking in riddles, and it's not like you. Yo, what up? I'm back, bitch. Just had to pee. Just had to urinate. There's no God. Yeah, I'm back, and that's whack. Yeah, I have really been enjoying The Simpsons. I'd say it's probably one of the best shows ever made. It's so fun, and the characters are so great. People say that it gets bad. Like, people say The Simpsons gets bad, but I'm on season 27, and I don't think it's a bad show yet. Is it less funny than it used to be? Yeah, I think The Simpsons kind of peaks around season 15 and then it starts to go down again. But the current seasons are still better than season one because season one of The Simpsons is like not good at all. But I still think The Simpsons is pretty damn good. I'm still laughing. Like, I'm still really enjoying it. I still laugh every episode. It's not as funny, but it's still just as entertaining. My favorite Simpsons episode, it's probably a later seasons episode, actually, because they're a bit more dramatic. Because my favorite episode is the one where Lisa gets traumatized at the Halloween festival, like the Krusty Halloween festival or whatever. She gets traumatized at that, and then a bunch of people that Homer wronged like break into the house, and her fears are like justified and stuff, and Homer has to help her and she has to help Homer. Both they get over each other's fears. It's the first. It's a late season episode, but it's the first Halloween episode that's not a Treehouse of Horror. I think because I don't remember a Halloween episode in season one. Treehouse of Horror didn't start till season two, but they aired a Treehouse of Horror the very next week. But I think that's actually my favorite Simpsons episode. It's really touching, and I love that spooky shit. I love that spooky shit. I will admit, though, the Treehouse of Horrors, like the rest of the show, I don't feel like has dropped in quality that much, but the Treehouse of Horrors, I feel like have. I expect a lot from Treehouse of Horror, and I feel like I haven't been getting it recently. But I do love The Simpsons a lot. A lot. What do I think of the Simpsons 2 movie getting made? I wonder why they're doing that, because I know they didn't want to make a sequel. They even say during like the credits of the first film that they don't want to make a sequel. But people actually online have been demanding a second Simpsons movie since the first one came out. And the first one was really fucking popular. I remember when it came out, no one shut the fuck up about Spider Pig for fucking months. Months. I remember the first time I saw that movie. I actually watched The Simpsons movie years before I got into The Simpsons, because I only got into The Simpsons this year. Like, I'd seen some episodes here and there, but this year is the year that I started watching it from beginning to end. Well, quote unquote end. The Simpsons will never end. Spider Pig has actually already returned multiple times. He was in he's been in episodes. I feel like I just saw an episode where like Maggie made a bunch of nocturnal animal friends and stuff, and Spider Pig was in that one because they had to rescue a possum. And I think that was the B plot to the episode where Patty and Selma try to stop smoking because they find out their dad died of lung cancer. Is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse my favorite Spider-Man movie? There are so many Spider-Man movies, it's hard for me to put my finger on a favorite. Let's go through them all here. because the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man has a special place in my heart because that series was going on when I was a kid. And also, people say that the Green Goblin in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series is really stupid, but I thought he was a really fucking cool Green Goblin. I thought he was a really fucking cool Green Goblin. And then Spider-Man 2 is actually a very excellent film. It's really good. Spider-Man 3 is obvious garbage. The villain should have either been Sandman or Venom. Green Goblin should not have been in it at all. And that was such a stupid Green Goblin look. Like, he didn't even look like a supervillain. He looked like a skier. He looked like a skier on a hoverboard. It was stupid. Venom, it should have either been Venom or Sandman. I think the main villain should have just been Sandman, actually. Because the way I see it, the way Venom, if you wanted to introduce Venom, they should have done Venom this way. They should have had Venom. Because I actually made a video a long, long time ago when The Amazing Spider-Man was the current series about how to introduce Venom. And my idea was have him get the black costume in Amazing Spider-Man 3, lose it at the end. You should not have the black costume arc and the Venom arc in the same movie. That's too much. Have the black costume, leave him at the end of the movie. And like the after credit scene is it like attaching to Eddie Brock or something. Then you have him fight Venom in the next film, defeat Venom, and then the Venom symbiote get removed by the government, and then have the Venom solo film. But my idea for the Venom solo film would have been Agent Venom. So that was my idea for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 universe when it was going on. I made a big vlog about it. All my friends thought it was a great idea. But then we got The Amazing Spider-Man, which I really enjoyed. It's not a great movie, but I really enjoy it. I do. I've seen it so many times because it was at the Dollar Theater when I was in college. Because my college had a Dollar Theater on campus. And I would go see it like every night because my friends and I really liked The Amazing Spider-Man. Then The Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out and it was fucking garbage. For one thing, I don't think Green Goblin should have been in that series, at least not so soon, because Green Goblin was in the previous series twice. So having Green Goblin again, it's like, come on, dude, give us a different villain. And I love Jamie Foxx. I think he's a great actor, but I thought Electro was very poorly written. I know they were going for like kind of an ultimate Electro thing. And I know I'm like, I don't know. Then they also had Rhino in it for no reason other than to set up the Sinister Six. So I don't get that. And then we got Spider-Man Homecoming, which is a very good film. Spider-Man Homecoming is a very good film. And I really enjoy it. I think Tom Holland's performance is like really good. My favorite scene in that movie is when he's in the car with Michael Keaton. Oh my God, what a great fucking scene, right? Where he's like really scared and nervous because he knows Keaton's the Vulture. And Keaton figures out he's Spider-Man. And then it's a really good scene, dude. That's a really good fucking scene, man. And then Spider-Man Far From Home was pretty good too. That credit scene where he gets outed though kind of pissed me off. And then I told my friends, I was like, in the next Spider-Man film, Doctor Strange is going to help him get his secret identity back. Because that's what happened in the comic books. Doctor Strange kind of helped because he came public about his secret identity in Civil War, but eventually they had to get it back because comic books. And Doctor Strange kind of helped him do that a little bit. And well, there were several things that kind of went towards it, but Doctor Strange helped him get his secret identity back. And there was this spell where he was like, okay, the spell will hold. No one will ever be able to figure out your secret identity again. Magic will prevent them unless you tell somebody your secret identity, and then the spell will break and people will be able to learn your identity again. And then, very recently, it was announced that Doctor Strange is going to be in the next Spider-Man film. And I was like, look who was fucking right. Look who was fucking right. It's going to be exactly what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I heard Jamie Foxx was coming back, but I don't remember what he's coming back as or if that was even announced. I like Jamie Foxx. He's a very good actor. Yes, Jake Gyllenhaal was great as Mysterio, and I thought Mysterio was handled pretty damn well. Because Mysterio's... in the comics, Mysterio has kind of turned into a joke villain. He's a villain that's often defeated in a couple pages. Mysterio's often a joke villain these days, and I think that's fucking stupid because I love Mysterio. I know Jamie Foxx played Electro, but what is he going to play now is what I'm saying. And then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse might actually be the perfect comic book film. It might actually be the perfect comic book film because it feels like a comic book. It looks like a comic book. Into this, the Spider-Verse was actually a comic that I bought every single issue for. Okay, Spider-Verse was the very first comic event that I bought all the issues for, all the tie-ins and everything. It cost me a fortune, but I did it and it was worth it. I sold all of them except for my Edge of Spider-Verse because I had the first printing, first appearance of Spider-Gwen and the first printing, first appearance of SPDR. So I didn't want to sell those. I want to hold on to them for a little bit. They've been like, okay, the origin for Spider-Gwen, like her first appearance has been reprinted to hell. So it's worth a lot less than it used to be. But it was going for like $80 or something for a while. Then, like, yeah, it's just Into the Spider-Verse is a great fucking film. I'm excited for the second one. It's going to have Spider-Man in it. That's going to be really great. Spider-Man actually has a movie. That's another Spider-Man movie that exists out there in the world. Do I think the Terminator franchise should end? Probably. Like, it's one of those franchises that doesn't have a lot of meat to it. Like, the robots are pretty bland, and I am not a fan of time travel these days. I think time travel is way, way, way overdone, and the Terminator franchise does heavily rely on time travel. The first Terminator is cool and all, but it doesn't really get good until the second one, and the third one's garbage. Salvation was boring. Haven't seen anything past that. Haven't seen any TV shows or anything. Yeah, I haven't seen Dark Fate. Terminator is a franchise I think should end, like Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic Park should just... I think they're really stretching it idea-wise. What? The original Terminator films were a trilogy. That's, well, killing off John Connor and replacing him with someone else is probably a good thing because, like, who cares about John Connor? We've seen so much of him that if you want to try to freshen it up, you really need a new character. Or it's like Power Rangers, right? So every couple seasons of Power Rangers, we get a completely new cast. Because if we followed the same cast of Power Rangers for 30 years, the show would have gotten so boring, so stupid, so stale that it would have been canceled by now. The only reason Power Rangers is still alive is because it cycles teams, it cycles characters. Not a lot of shows and franchises can survive on one character. They can't survive on one character going for too long. Like, I'm surprised The Simpsons been able to do it. But in my defense, people say that The Simpsons is bad now. So they're saying that, in effect, that's been like, look at the show Supernatural. Okay, Supernatural has like almost 20 seasons or something, and it has the same two main characters. But you see, here's the problem: those characters have been developed, and then once they were fully developed characters, they didn't have anywhere to go. So they undeveloped those characters and then redeveloped them all over again, which is just bad writing. They did that in Arrow by the season. Like, Oliver was fully developed by like season 2. Because remember at the end of season 2 of Arrow, Oliver was like, I'm not a killer anymore. But you know how every fucking season of Arrow pretty much ends after that? With him killing the main bad guy. There's one episode of Arrow that I always talk about where he has this team of vigilantes that he's put together, and they want to go out and kill somebody, and they fail. And Oliver gets really fucking mad at them. He's like, how dare you try to kill somebody? And then Wild Dog, one of the vigilantes, looks Oliver dead in the fucking eyes and says, you're a hypocritical bitch. You kill people all the time. And then just storms the fuck out. Like, Arrow sucked after season 2. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's done. Luckily, we still have The Flash, though, which I still think is pretty good, even though the last season didn't end like it was supposed to. RoboCop had a trilogy. The third film of RoboCop became a failure. RoboCop is actually like a top tier movie for me. I adore RoboCop. RoboCop 2 is fucking garbage. It's like all shit. And then RoboCop 3, I remember I've only seen it once. Like shortly after I got out of high school, I think is when I watched it. I remember thoroughly enjoying RoboCop 3. Like, that doesn't mean it's not bad objectively, but I don't know, it's fucking weird. I haven't seen RoboCop 2014. I just didn't watch it. You know who I think would make a great RoboCop, though? I was talking about this on Twitter actually recently. Carl Urban would make a fucking fantastic RoboCop. You know, I'd rather have Carl. I'd much rather have Carl Urban than Josh Brolin. I always imagine Josh Brolin with gray hair. I know he doesn't have gray hair, but I always think of him as, whenever I picture Josh Brolin, I picture him as fucking Deadpool, because he also had gray hair a lot on the set of Avengers Infinity War, because those movies filmed around the same time. So I think about him in Deadpool 2, and I think about him on Infinity War set, like behind the scenes stuff, and he has gray hair in both. Yeah, I remember watching James Cameron Avatar on HBO when I was in like high school, and I thought it was really fucking mediocre. It's like really mediocre. It's the same damn story as Dances with Wolves. And Dances with Wolves is a fucking great movie. Like, it's really good. It's long, but it's good. And the final fight scene in Avatar is actually the same exact choreography from the axe fight in Last of the Mohicans. Like everything in Avatar was stolen from other Native American movies, which is really weird because it's made by James Cameron. And James Cameron is actually really fucking talented. Like, I think Avatar was just a cash grab for him because James Cameron is so much better than that. He really is. He's been trying to get these sequels off the ground forever, and I think it's finally happening. But the only reason people were in love with Avatar is because the animation was so damn good. And it was pretty fucking spectacular. But that's the only reason. Maybe that's why it's not a very creative movie, because they just put all their energy into the animation and they just relied on that. Because I know James Cameron can do better. I know you can do better, James Cameron. I know you can. I know you can. Any other movies or anything y'all want to talk about? Who do I think is an underrated actor? I already mentioned him, Karl Urban. I think Karl Urban is extremely underrated. He does a fantastic job in everything he's in. I think he should be Wolverine. I think Karl Urban should be Wolverine. I know he was already in the MCU, but they killed him off. So, and he was in heavy makeup. So he should be Wolverine. He should be Wolverine. Karl Urban should be Wolverine. And I think Wolverine is a character in the MCU that should be played pretty straight. Like he shouldn't be cracking jokes. But the characters around him cracking jokes is fine. The one good thing, because he played an Asgardian, I don't remember who. Remember the Asgardian that took Heimdall's job and then joined Hela when she arrived to save his own skin? He played that guy, the guy with the guns. Hold on one sec. Karl Urban Thor Ragnarok. Scourge. Karl Urban played Scourge. But he's in like a good bit of makeup. He's got like almost pointed ears. He's got like these tattoos on the top of his bald head. Like, I think if you brought Karl Urban back into the MCU, it would be totally fine. I mean, if Deadpool is joining the MCU and bringing Cable with him, that's Josh Brolin in 2 roles. One dead. Why not Karl Urban? So he'd make a fucking fantastic Wolverine. He would make a fucking fantastic Wolverine. Karl Urban was great as Judge Dredd, and not a lot of people would take the role of Judge Dredd. That's another thing. Because in that movie, you don't see Karl Urban's face, right? You don't see Judge Dredd's face in the comics either. That's kind of his thing. That's like, you don't see Judge Dredd's face. It's like Master Chief. You don't fucking see his face. And John Krasinski, I would not know. Fuck no. John Krasinski's face is way too soft to play Wolverine. His face is too soft. Yeah, I know. He can do some fucking action. I'll give him that. Like, he's proven himself as an action star. And I think an action comedy role would be perfect for John Krasinski. But I don't think he has the look. But yeah, as I was saying about Judge Dredd, you see, in the original Judge Dredd movie starring Sylvester Stallone, we have a movie where Judge Dredd doesn't have his helmet on for almost the entire movie. And the people who made the movie wanted him to not show his face. But they also wanted Sylvester Stallone to play him. Sylvester Stallone refused to be in a movie where his face was not shown. And that's not a bad thing, because an actor's face is their moneymaker. That's how they get recognized. Most actors, like big profile actors, are not going to take a role where their face is not shown. They're not going to do it. I would probably prefer roles where my face is not shown, actually. But for the second film, the reboot sort of, his face isn't shown at all. And mad props to Carl Urban for keeping it comic accurate. Because a lot of actors wouldn't have taken that role simply because their face would not have been shown. Do you think Keanu Reeves would make a good Wolverine in the MCU? I'm not sure Keanu Reeves would take that role. Keanu Reeves seems to almost avoid series. Like, I know John Wick is getting sequel after sequel, but that John Wick was something that no one predicted would blow up like it did. And he has really embraced John Wick, which is very nice. He said he'll be in as many John Wick sequels as the fans want him to be in, which would be nice. Yeah, I know Deacon Frost. One of my favorite comics with Blade is actually a Gwenpool comic. Gwenpool was a fantastic comic that fucking nobody was reading. And he was going to kill this village of immortal skeleton people. But they just seemed to be going about their everyday lives, right? So Gwenpool convinced Blade not to kill them because they weren't hurting anybody. They were just going about their everyday lives. And Blade was like, fine, but they do one wrong thing and I'm coming back. And then the skeletons were really thankful. So they invited Gwenpool to this ritual. And what the ritual was them sucking the life force out of their children. All the children in the town were like chained up against the wall and getting the life force sucked out of them. And then Gwenpool was like, oh, fuck, man. Now I gotta call Blade. So she like leads out the window and is like, Blade, come back. I was wrong. It's really fucking funny. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a decent idea. The film's not very good. I haven't read the comics or anything. But just a bunch of public domain characters that all fight together. That's totally cool. Did I know Blade Trinity was a box office bomb? Yes. I've seen Blade Trinity. Wonder how much it made. I'm gonna look it up. Wait, I just searched it in the wrong tab. No, I didn't. I'm just on images for no reason. Blade Trinity, 2004. It's got 3 stars on IMDb, which is a little more than I expected. 26% rotten. That's the one with Dracula in it, right? That's the one where Dracula's the bad guy? Yeah. Because it's got Ryan Reynolds in it. I hear Wesley Snipes is a weird fucking dude, but he was a pretty good Blade. Yeah, I bet they didn't get along because Ryan Reynolds is like really easygoing, and Wesley Snipes was like really fucking serious about the Blade role. You weren't allowed to call him Mr. Snipes or anything on the set. You had to call him Blade, or he like wouldn't answer you. And he was very demanding of everybody around him and all this stuff. Because I remember Patton Oswalt was telling stories about being on the set of, I think it was Blade Trinity. Uh, yeah, David S. Goyer doesn't deserve to be killed, but he's not a very good screenwriter. David S. Goyer is also like really sexist, like because he is one of the big writers in the current DC EU, aka Worlds of DC, because Goyer did work on Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and he was quoted as saying that female comic book heroes aren't supposed to be interesting; they're just supposed to be pretty to look at. And I was like, well, that's a pretty sexist way to think about things. That might have been true 50 fucking years ago, but not now. And I was like, this man's going to be writing Wonder Woman? Fuck me. And then, of course, I mean, writing her character in BVS, but then she actually turned out to be pretty cool in BVS, even though that movie sucked ass. Yeah, I don't trust Goyer with female characters or movies. uh, yeah, Vader. That's the exact interview I'm fucking talking about. And she's also not there for Hulk to fuck because they're cousins. So I'm excited for the She-Hulk series on Disney Plus, though. I think the series I'm most excited for on Disney Plus is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because Falcon Cap from the comics is like so good. I wish Falcon was still Captain America in the comics. He was that good. I also wish Jane Foster was still Thor. So I'm happy both of them are coming to the MCU. If I have to pick Marvel or DC, I would pick DC. And that's me including comic books, movies, TV shows, because I think DC's comics are better. Marvel's comics since 2008, 2009 have been almost solely focused on being just like the Iron Man movie. So basically, all of Marvel's comics now are action comedies. And DC has more variety than that, I feel like, genre wise. I just like DC's comics more. Uh, Also, DC's animated movies were so much better than Marvel's that Marvel has pretty much stopped making animated films altogether. DC just blew them out of the fucking water. And DC's animated films are still going very strong. They recently rebooted their animated film universe. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I need to catch up on them. And then DC has better TV shows. Look at all those shows on the fucking CW, man. They are kicking ass. The shows on the DC streaming service are kicking ass. Most of Marvel's, you see, here's the thing, the DC TV shows, a lot cooler stuff happens in them than the Marvel shows, because the Marvel shows are all in the MCU, which means that they can't do anything too big because they can't do anything that would affect movie continuity. So, like, oh, the world ended in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but time travel fixed it, so it doesn't matter. So it doesn't really affect anything at all. Also, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is just a shitty show. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the main TV show for Marvel, and it's fucking shit. All superhero movies are the same because they all adhere to formula, right? Especially the Marvel films. You're right. All superhero movies are the same, but most kaiju films are the same too. All heist films are the same as well. Like that's just how movies fucking work. And I think most of the population has accepted that. Oh, hey, Noel Anderson, by the way. I didn't notice you slip in there. Superman or Spider-Man? Oh, dude, I could give a very long speech about that, but I have to poop. So, and this is my second bathroom break, but. Ooh, it's about to shoot out of my boy hole. Oh, okay, be right back. Where in the world have you been hiding? Where you were perfect. I only wish I knew your secret. Who is this strange to angel, I hear you speak. I listen. Stay by my side, guide me. Angel, Christy, you must have been dreaming. Stories like this can't come true. Christy, you're talking in riddles, and it's not like you take your arms off her, angel of music, not a sinner. Your glory. I better get my own place again. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. It's hot. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. It's hot. Ooh. I could drink that all day, every day. Chicken nuggets in my pocket. Whew. Daddy needed some OJ too. Okay, where were we? Superman or Spider-Man. I don't think I could ever really choose between the two because they're both really great. I think superhero is sorry, I'm stupid. I think Superman is the greatest superhero DC has to offer, and I think Spider-Man is the greatest superhero that Marvel has to offer. Spider-Man is probably the most relatable superhero of all time. He's got really cool powers. He's got a great rogues gallery, even though most of them are just an animal. But they all work really well, is the thing. And then Spider-Man's the original wisecracker, right? Like the way Iron Man was in the MCU is how Spider-Man was in the comics. And now everybody in the comics does that because Iron Man was really popular doing it on screen. So now all the characters talk like that, but it was originally Spider-Man. People think it was originally Iron Man, but it was originally Spider-Man. And then Superman is not supposed to be relatable. You're supposed to relate to Spider-Man. You're supposed to look up to Superman. You see? Superman is the greatest superhero of all time. Let's just say it. It's true. He's the greatest superhero of all time. He's got kick-ass powers. He's got a lot of really cool villains, but it is kind of hard to write villains for him just because he's so damn powerful. Not the current Superman book, which is written by Brian Michael Bendis, but the Superman book before it, written by Peter J. Tomasi, is my favorite Superman run of all time because Superman in that book is very uplifting. He's very happy. When I want to cheer myself up, I read Superman comics because they cheer me the fuck up. In that book, I almost said Spider-Man. Superman had a wife and kids. Now, giving a wife and kid to Superman was the best thing DC ever did for him because not only did it make him more relatable, but it also made him more vulnerable, which was actually his biggest problem, not the relatability issue, because once again, he's not supposed to be relatable. So, like, it'd be impossible for me to pick one and throw the other out because they're both the best that their publisher has to offer. Do you like movies where the villain wins? Only if it's done well. Only if it's done well. Infinity War where Thanos snaps, but did you see Infinity War? But I don't spoil for anyone who not seen Infinity War. Ew, take a shot every time he says Infinity War. Yeah, of course I've seen Infinity War. It's years old now. And I knew what would happen in Infinity War anyway because I read the Infinity Gauntlet comic in high school, which was way before Infinity War came out. Yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet is a great fucking book. If you haven't read it, you definitely should. What do I think of Liam Neeson's revenge story? Oh, his racist ass revenge story? I don't even want to fucking talk about that, dude. Noel Anderson, you're the guy that came up to me at G-Fest, right? My favorite kind of villains are the ones where they have an understandable reason for what they're doing. Yeah, like the best villains are ones that are heroes in their own mind. Like, let's look at the MCU. Most of the villains in the MCU are shit. Like, they're actual shit. The MCU has 4 good villains. The MCU has 4 good villains in the movies. Loki, Thanos, now I forget who they are. Killmonger, and God damn it, who was the villain in Civil War? Someone remind me who the villain in Civil War was. He was a good villain. That's a movie where the villain wins that I like. Civil War is my favorite MCU movie. But yeah, Killmonger might actually be my favorite MCU villain because he wanted something good. He wanted racial justice, which is a good thing. But he went about it the completely wrong way. And he actually showed Black Panther because of that Baron Zemo, that's what his fucking name is, I think. But then he actually showed Black Panther through his actions that cutting himself off from the rest of the world wasn't going to be effective in any change anyways. Like Killmonger, I think, is the best villain the MCU's had. Thanos is pretty good because he wants to save the universe, but he's doing it the wrong way. I don't know if you guys have heard of colony collapse. Have you heard of colony collapse? That's when a bunch of bees die, but then the rest of the hive dies because they're not used to living without all those bees. That's what would have actually happened if Thanos got rid of 50% of the population. Things wouldn't work themselves out. Another like 25% of the population would have died because so much would have been taken out of their world that they wouldn't have been able to sustain themselves anymore. So that's what would have happened in real life. Everyone probably would have died after the snap, after a couple years. And then Loki's really good just because he's sympathetic. He actually has a fucking reason for doing things. He's also a very interesting villain, very charismatic. And then Baron Zemo, you just feel bad for him the whole film. You do. And he also was not entirely wrong because superpowered beings running around the planet enacting their own justice with no checks and balances in the real world would be an absolutely horrifying thing. That would terrify the fuck out of me if that was in the real world. You know? But like, he didn't become an activist or a politician and like go to court and stuff and try to get these checks and balances put in place, which would have made him a hero. No, what he decided to do was kill a bunch of innocent people and try to trick the world into putting these checks and balances in place. Bucky, the Winter Soldier, was not the villain of the Winter Soldier movie. He was a victim. He was a tool. The villain was Hydra. Alien. Oh, hold on. I got a lot of stuff here. Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy or Mark Webb trilogy? Well, there is no Mark Webb trilogy because Amazing Spider-Man 2 was so bad that it got fucked in the ass and they made a deal with Marvel. So I guess Sam Raimi because the other one didn't even finish. Alien or Predator? I think Alien. Maybe. I like the Alien movies more than the Predator movies. I kind of went down my list last stream, but I guess I can do it again. Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of the best monster movies ever made and one of the best horror movies ever made. Aliens is one of the best action movies ever made. I don't think it's better than the first one like most people do. It's definitely more exciting than the first one, but I don't think it's a better film. Alien 3 is not as bad as people say, but it doesn't bring anything new to the franchise. Alien Resurrection is absolute complete garbage, and Joss Whedon is a hack. Prometheus is kind of boring, but I get what they were trying to do. And then Alien Covenant, I thought was good. I thought it was a very interesting film. Everyone else told me it sucked. The people I saw it with really liked it. And then everyone else was like, no, it sucks. And I don't get that. I thought it was a good movie. The Predator series is shorter, for one thing. Predator is, in my mind, the greatest action film ever made. Mixing action and horror like that was absolute genius. And the suspense in that movie is really what makes it good. Predator 2 is just a mindless action movie. It's got a bunch of sex and drugs in it for no reason other than to have a bunch of sex and drugs in it. There's no suspense in Predator 2 because you already know what the Predator is about by the time you get to that movie. However, the fight across the city with the Predator was pretty fucking cool, though. Then you have Predators, which was a great idea, but was not executed well, sadly. We also have The Predator, which is one of the stupidest movies I have ever seen and is the worst film in the Predator franchise. Aliens versus Predator is okay. It's got some great practical effects, and it's got a great mix of practical effects and CGI that I look for in a film. And then AVPR, Alien versus Predator Requiem, is one of the shittiest films I've ever seen, and it's absolutely unwatchable. It's only watchable if you watch the unrated version, because the main movie is like a PG-13 cut, I think, because they cut out all the bonus scenes that made it rated R. They had to cut out a bunch of scenes to bring the rating down. But the scenes that brought the rating up to R are the scenes with the fucking plot in them. So they cut the whole plot out of the movie. And then even with those scenes in there, it's still very shitty. Favorite Star Wars character? Probably either Han Solo or Obi-Wan. I'm not the biggest Star Wars dude. I was as a kid, but I'm not really now. So I don't really know. Who would you cast as John Connor? Nobody, because I wouldn't continue the Terminator franchise. I also think Hugh Jackman is too old to play John Connor, unless, of course, you're doing a movie where it's an old John Connor. But according to what you told me earlier, John Connor's dead anyway, so nobody cares. Terminator versus Predator would be awesome. It might make a cool comic book, but I think it would make a bad movie. Terminator versus Predator, probably a cool comic book, shit movie. It does not feel like Tuesday. It feels like Wednesday. I think there are a few Terminator RoboCop crossovers. I haven't read any of them, and if I did, it would just be for RoboCop because I really like RoboCop, but once again, not a Terminator fan. Not a Terminator fan at all. What else? What else, guys, gals, fellas, lady fellas? The second unit. The friend of all. Angel, I hear you speak. The dog is barking up a storm outside. I bet it's pissing the neighbors off. He barks basically constantly. Like, he's outside all day because he can't be inside all day. He's, one, way too energetic and way too large. And it's also not my dog, so I'm just doing with him what I'm told to do with him, and I'm told to leave him outside during the day. But he barks all fucking day, 24/7. Smash that motherfucking like button if you can hear the dog barking. You probably can't, but oh well. What do we have here? New messages. Anything coming from G&G? Yeah, there's a new G&G coming out tomorrow. And then over the weekend, I did a live stream called Let's Write G&G Live, where the fans wrote 3 episodes of G&G alongside me. So I got those 3 planned. I'm going to film them after this weekend. So I'm going to start filming them because this week I'm too busy. Well, I'm not too busy, but I'm not home. And then tomorrow, G&G Grinder goes live. Yeah, I do have a dog. There are 2 dogs at my house. They're siblings. Any toy or comic reviews? Yeah, I've been uploading toy and comic reviews every single day. Here, let me check. Let me see. In the past few days, several videos have all gone up. I've also been uploading on the second channel every day as well. So in the past several days, let's say, so recently I've uploaded Burning Godzilla 2019 NECA action figure review, G&G musical, which has way less views than G&Gs usually get. I think a lot of people just missed it. Skullcrawler with Heave, Godzilla vs. Kong action figure review, In Space Yellow Ranger, Power Rangers Lightning Collection action figure review, Toxin Marvel Legends Hasbro action figure review, Azrael Batman Armor DC Multiverse action figure review. Today's video was Injustice Ground Zero Volume 1 graphic novel review. That is that comic book is the story of Injustice Gods Among Us, but from the perspective of Harley Quinn. Tomorrow, G&G Grinder goes live, which is based on a true story, actually. And then after that, it's a vlog. I haven't done a vlog on this channel in a long time, but it's called Where Is My Figure, Hasbro? It's about how Hasbro's fucked me in the ass. Then on November 6th, Dino Thunder White Ranger, Power Rangers Lightning Collection action figure review. And then after that, King Kong 1933 NECA action figure review. And that's what I have for this channel right now. It's a lot of stuff. Favorite toy brands? I don't really know, man. I kind of have grievances with all toy brands, to be completely honest. I guess Bandai Japan is my favorite. Like, if I had to pick a favorite, it would be Bandai Japan. But, like, because there are a lot of complaints for a lot of things. Like, Mattel doesn't want to do articulation anymore. McFarlane has shit articulation. Hasbro releases way too many figures way too quickly. And then that means they end up doing lots of re-releases and repaints of figures because they release figures too fast and have to fill the lineups. Bandai America doesn't give a fuck about anything. They don't give a fuck about any of their properties. Bandai America is literally letting their licenses get stolen because they don't give a fuck. Bandai Japan really gives a fuck. Like, they really give a fuck. And that's really great. Most of the toys they release are for children. And if a children's toy doesn't have a lot of articulation or a lot of paint and stuff, it's fine. But it's like the way it is with Japan is the people who make toys in Japan, their children's toys are children's toys and their adult collectibles are adult collectibles. Here in America, the companies that make adult collectible action figures also try to sell those action figures to children. McFarlane and Hasbro both make adult collectible superhero figures, and they both also try to market those adult collectible figures to children, which is why they're not as good as Japanese adult collectible figures. Like, it's almost two separate things in Japan, but here it's all one. Are you excited about Godzilla versus Kong? Of course, but my excitement has waned with the fact that it's been delayed a couple times. But all movies are getting delayed. You can't blame them. Wonder Woman 84 has been delayed 6 or 7 times. Like, that's pretty wicked. Eric Andre's Bad Trip has been delayed. We got Black Widow, which has been delayed. I always want to call it Scarlet Widow. I have no idea why. But every time I say Black Widow and I'm talking about the movie, I almost always say Scarlet Widow. I think I'm thinking of the Scarlet Spider when I say it. I don't know what's up with that. I have no clue why I fucking do that. But yeah. But the thing is, though, once Godzilla vs. Kong comes out, that's it for the MonsterVerse. MonsterVerse is dead after that. They're ending it. But they don't have to, which is the thing. I'm actually editing a vlog right now about what the MonsterVerse should do, but because I mean the MonsterVerse films make money. I mean, they aren't breaking the box office like fucking Marvel films do, but they make a good profit. And can you really call it a cinematic universe when it only has 2 characters? Like, the only two in the cinematic universe are Godzilla and Kong. Like, if you just have 2 characters crossing over, that's just a normal crossover. That's not a cinematic universe, right? Like, I can't call the MonsterVerse a cinematic universe, man. It just doesn't feel right. Ugh, it doesn't fucking feel right. If the MonsterVerse made an animated TV series, it'd probably end up on a streaming service, not on TV. Let's be completely honest. But I'd watch it. Fuck yeah, of course I'd watch it. I've watched worse all the way through. But I don't really want that, to be completely honest. The MonsterVerse has basically just been movies and comics, and I think that's fine. One thing that the MonsterVerse has done that I really respect is they aren't rushing it. Like DC, when they got into the cinematic universe game, rushed it hard. The Dark Universe, which was like the Universal Monsters cinematic universe reboot, it rushed it really hard. And rushing it kind of killed it because Dark Universe, they released Dracula Unbound or Untold or whatever the fuck it was called. and it was shit. So they were like, okay, that's a standalone Dracula film. We're not going to count it as part of the universe. Now let's start the universe with The Mummy. And they spend half of the Mummy movie explaining that there's a bigger universe of monsters. We have hints at Dracula in that movie. We have hints at the creature from the Black Lagoon in that movie. There is an extended Jekyll and Hyde sequence, and Dr. Jekyll is one of the main fucking characters in that film. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, they just ended the fucking Dark Universe after that because Mummy was not well received at all. Like at all. And then DC was really rushing a cinematic universe. They rushed almost straight to Justice League because they had Man of Steel and then Batman versus Superman. The second film in your cinematic universe is already a big crossover movie. You're rushing it. That movie was almost a Trinity film. And then Suicide Squad, which had a ton of characters, none of which were established. And then I feel like most of them didn't need to be, though. I actually felt they didn't need to be established, but still a team movie in a cinematic universe with no establishment. And then Justice League came right after that. Another team movie with almost no establishment, and it bombed hard. Justice League really fucked it up. Wonder Woman did really well, and they want to keep running with Wonder Woman, but look at it, right? Like Wonder Woman and Shazam were really the only two really well-received movies in the DCEU, and those are the only ones getting sequels. There's not going to be a Superman sequel. Ben Affleck Batman, he's not getting a solo film. Look at all the DC movies that are coming out now. The Joker does not take place in the DCEU. The Batman does not take place in the DCEU. Right now, DC is doing this kind of, instead of calling it the DCEU now, we're going to call it Worlds of DC because it's going to be a multiverse, which is a smart thing for DC to do so they don't have to sit in their shitty cinematic world anymore. And also, DC is kind of known for its rich multiverse in the comics, so giving it a movie multiverse is actually really smart. And hopefully the Flash movie will show us that multiverse, but the Flash movie is going to suck because it's been in production hell forever. Favorite anime series? I haven't seen a lot of Dragon Ball. I've seen Dragon Ball Z all the way through, but Dragon Ball Z, to be honest, is not as good as people remember. I think it was just so unique on American television when I was a kid, and that's why it's popular over here, because it's mostly fucking filler, and it's kind of boring. Dragon Ball Super is really fucking good, though. I really like Dragon Ball Super. They know what they're doing with that. There's the way Dragon Ball Super does it is they have their main story and then they have some filler episodes in the middle, but all the filler episodes are really comedic and have fun little stories, so you don't mind. I don't really watch the Pokemon anime anymore. I don't think I've watched it since like 2015, 2016. I haven't seen any of Gen 4 or Gen 5 Pokemon. I watched the first 2 seasons of Gen 6, but not the third. I haven't seen any of Sun and Moon. Have they started Sword and Shield? I haven't watched any of that. Yeah, so I'm not very faithful when it comes to Pokemon. I just don't watch a lot of anime, you know? If I had to pick a favorite anime series, it would either be My Hero Academia or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And that's me leaving out like one season stuff like Zetman and etc. Because like the thing about One Piece is it's good. I've watched a chunk of it, but it's so long that I don't really feel like I could start it and stick with it, you know. And then what are some other fucking anime that people really like? I've never seen Death Note. I'll watch it one day. It looks pretty fucking cool, but I've never watched it. The Promised Neverland is really good. I'm actually really excited for season 2 of that. That's a really good anime. Yeah, I like JoJo a lot because JoJo is a great balance between action and humor, and that's kind of something I look for in an anime. I like action comedy anime a lot, so that's what I really go for. You know, I want that action comedy, which is why I like Dragon Ball Super and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure so damn much. And then My Hero Academia, I think the reason I like that is because it's almost a Western show. My Hero Academia takes all the Western superhero tropes and all the Eastern superhero tropes and blends them perfectly. It's extremely well done. So it really appeals to superhero fans all over the world because it's done so well. Sure, it's the cliche, oh, it's a school for fucking super powered people thing that we kind of have now, but it's pretty good. One Punch Man's also really good. Season 1 and 2 were both incredible. Season 3, I hope, will be just as incredible because both those seasons were magnificent, and then season 2 left off on a cliffhanger. So I really need to know what happens with all those monsters. But yeah, pretty fucking good stuff. I need to rewatch the Ultraman anime because I read the manga and I've read through what there is of the manga a couple times. But I need to rewatch the anime because the anime is actually quite different from the manga. And when season 2 comes out, I think what I'm actually going to do is just start at season 1 again, watch through season 1, and then start season 2. It's cold. I'm cold. L'Chaim! What are you looking at? What do you want from me? You got to give me something to play off of here. Does anyone have anyone been watching any tokusatsu recently? I have not been watching like any. I do need to catch up on Beast Morphers though. A lot of new Beast Morphers episodes went up on Netflix. Like I'm not caught up on Power Rangers. I am not caught up on Kamen Rider. I'm not caught up on Ultraman. I'm really, really, really not caught up on Super Sentai. I haven't watched Super Sentai since like 2014. Fuck, I am behind on Super Sentai, dude. In Kamen Rider, I'm about a year behind. In Ultraman, the last Ultraman I watched was Rube. There have been 2 since Rube. So I'm about 2 years behind on Ultraman. Rube go jumping, Rube go fighting, Rube go growing. Ah! L'Chaim. Yeah, send me some messages. I'm going to edit till I get something in the chat to talk about. He barns with me. That's the first round. Burp. That's yours. But I'm almost done editing this, actually. I just need to cut out some stuff on the end. This vlog I'm editing about Gamera for the second channel. I actually think I did a pretty good job on it. I think I made some pretty good points. Gamera. Okay, there we go. I'm going to export that. Oh, God. I knew you guys were going to ask me about the election. The whole point of this vlog is to distract me from that. Now I got to check it because you made me think about it. You guys were doing such a damn good job of distracting me because I did not want to think about it. But here we are, you know. Why am I doing this on my phone? I got a computer right in front of me. Let me check a fucking election map. Um, God, I don't want to do this. It's looking pretty neck to neck, to be completely honest. You got almost the same amount of popular votes for each one right now. A little more electoral votes for Biden, but we'll see. It looks like he's got more electoral votes, but we got 30K libertarian votes in Georgia. But it looks like most of these states are going red, but the higher population states are going blue. Honestly, you know what if you want to know what I think real quick, and then we'll get off of it because I'm not going to start some huge debate. All right. Here's what I think is going to happen. Most Republicans voted in person, and most Democrats voted by mail. Because of the virus and the heavy percentage of votes and etc., we're not going to have all the mail-in votes counted tonight. There's no way in hell. But we will probably have all the in-person votes counted tonight. And so it's going to look like Trump has won by the end of tonight. But all the votes will not have been counted. That being said, Trump has made it very clear that he is going to call the election as a victory no matter what, and that he has openly said that he will not accept the results of the election no matter what they are. Well, no matter what they are, if they are against him. He's already said that. So if he contests it, it's up to the Supreme Court to decide who is president. The Supreme Court has 6 Republicans on it and 3 Democrats. That is not impartial. That is biased. And the court that is on his side will pick him. I think that most of the votes will go to Biden, but Trump will be president again. That is what I think is going to happen. Okay. We're fucking done talking about it. That's it. I'm not going to argue with you guys about who's better. It's not going to fucking happen. But that's what I think is going to happen this election. And I think it's going to set a dangerous, dangerous precedent for future elections if we have them at all. Let's go back to something distracting. I just got tagged in a bunch of fucking posts on Instagram. I don't post on Instagram a lot. It's not my favorite app, to be completely fucking honest. I really only post some of my favorite stuff there. Like if I take a really good picture of my cat, that's going to go on Instagram. What's my favorite comedian? You know what? It's probably Eric Andre. I think Eric Andre is really fucking funny. I've seen every episode of his show. I haven't seen any of the new episodes for season 5, I'll admit, but I have seen 1 through 4. The only reason I haven't seen the episodes in 5 is because they're coming on at like midnight. And I'm usually fucking in bed and shit by midnight these days because I'm an old man. And I don't have a DVR, so I don't record them. But hopefully it'll go up on, when season 5 ends, hopefully it'll go up on Hulu very quickly because I love Eric Andre. I'm like, in April, his movie Bad Trip was supposed to come out, which was a prank movie like Bad Grandpa or Borat, you know? That movie was supposed to come out in April. It was supposed to be in theaters, but then all the theaters shut down. So Netflix apparently loved the movie and bought it from him. So Netflix has the rights to Bad Trip, and it's apparently going to go up on their platform as an exclusive. But here's the thing, Netflix hasn't released it, and I have no fucking idea why. I have no clue why Netflix has not released the movie because Eric Andre is a god. Every time he's in an interview, I find the interview online and watch it. I don't do that for any other comedian. I don't even do that for any actor or anybody. I only do that for Eric Andre. I think he is a genius. I think he's funny as fuck. He's a very unique person with a unique sense of humor. His kind of, it lets people tell me they think it's anti-humor, but it's not. In my opinion, it's not anti-humor. It's more like absurdist humor. I'm a real big absurdist humor fan, like Filthy Frank. That was absurdist humor. Back in the day when Papa was still with us. Yeah. Yeah, Eric Andre's, I'd say definitely my favorite comedian. I'd say there's no contest there. I've never really thought about it before, which is why it took me a second to get an answer. But it's Eric Andre. It's Eric Andre. I haven't watched his Netflix stand-up special yet because I'm not a big fan of stand-up comedy. But since it's Eric Andre, I'm sure I'll watch it at some point. I just haven't watched it yet because once again, I'm not a big stand-up fan, even though stand-up is what Eric Andre has been doing for the longest, according to him. I saw his interview with H3H3, Ethan Klein and Ela Klein on their podcast recently. Eric Andre has a lot of band names when he was on the show. Ridiculousness. No, I haven't watched it, but if he was on it, was he on it as a regular actor or was he just like a guest star? TV series 2011 Onward. 18 seasons. Fuck. Rob Dyrdek, MTV. That kind of makes me not want to watch it. That sounds boring. My brother used to watch, when we were kids, my brother used to watch Robin Big all the time. And I thought it was the stupidest fucking show. Is it just a reaction show? Is it just, does it just react to YouTube videos on it? I'm on IMDb. It is just him. It's just him and friends reacting to videos. Yeah, that's not a premise that I'm interested in at all. Yeah, if I want to watch someone react to a video, I'm going to watch H3H3 or iDubbbz do it. If it's not H3H3 or iDubbbz, I have basically no intention of watching them react to a video. Those are the only two people that I think have any reactions that are worth a damn. That being said, Rob, if you want me on the show, I'm just kidding. So many of you might know I'm looking for a new job because I was working at a funeral home, and ever since the virus started, I've had like no work at all. I've made my living doing dog and house sitting when I was making my living at a funeral home where dog and house sitting was a side hustle. But so I basically lost my job at the funeral home, but they didn't lay me off, so I couldn't get unemployment. They just put me at 0 hours, which fucking sucks. So I'm looking for a new job, and Indeed keeps recommending these jobs like maintenance worker and all these things that I'm not qualified for. And I'm like, Indeed, did you read my resume? Like, fuck. Basically, I just need some job that will give me insurance until until I can get my insurance license, and then I want to get back into the funeral industry as a pre-need salesperson so I can sell funerals to people. What are some other shows and movies you guys like that you want to know if I like? I've been watching like old public domain, low budget sci-fi and horror movies recently. Like, I'm about to upload on the second channel. You're about to get a bunch of movie reviews. Yeah, there are a lot of movie reviews coming to the second channel soon. I just reviewed the original Dracula from 1931. I've reviewed all its sequels and stuff already because I thought I had reviewed that movie, but apparently I had not. So I reviewed Dracula 1931 after reviewing all its sequels and the other Universal movies that Dracula appears in. So the original Dracula is the next movie reaction review. The next 3 days, I'm releasing podcasts on that channel, but after that, Dracula 1931 movie reaction review. Then Killers from Space, which might be a movie you've heard of. The Killers from Space movie reaction review. I actually think the thumbnail for this live stream is Killers from Space. It's those aliens with the big eyes. Then Phantom from Space after that, which is a movie from the year before Killers from Space, same production company. It's about an invisible alien. Then a movie called White Pongo, which is about like a white ape. It's allegedly a sci-fi movie, but I think it's more of an adventure film, to be completely honest. And I'm going to re-review The Vampire Bat, and I'm going to re-review the original The Fly, because I don't feel like my reviews for those were very good. So I'm going to re-review those. Well, only the Eric Andre Show and Ridiculousness. Also some Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, James Corden, and The Daily Show. I don't really watch any of those talk shows. I like the Closer Look segment from Seth Meyers' show, but I never watch any of the interviews. I used to watch Stephen Colbert's monologues, but like just his monologues. I don't like I don't like late night talk shows. The Eric Andre Show is a parody of late night talk shows. But yeah, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel's very funny. I don't think Jimmy Fallon's very funny. I don't even think Trevor Noah's that funny. I do watch Fingering the Pulse with Jordan Klepper. I always watch that on YouTube, but The Daily Show will never be as good as it used to be. It used to be The Daily Show used to feel like actual journalism. Like it was a comedy show first and foremost, but it felt like real journalism. And it doesn't really feel like that anymore. Now it just feels like straight comedy, which there's 100% no problem with, but it does feel like a step down. Oh, no wonder people aren't as active. It's after 10 p.m. here. It's after 10 p.m. here. It's after 10 p.m. here. The shows that I'm big into watching right now, I mostly just watch The Simpsons, dude. But I'm watching through Mike Tyson Mysteries right now. I need to finish the first season of Mama Named Me Sheriff. A lot of Adult Swim. I need to start watching the second season of Tigtone. I need to catch up on Robot Chicken. I need to catch up on Eric Andre season 5. I'm real big into adult animation, like Western adult animation, like comedy stuff. Um, I'm behind on American Dad, years behind on American Dad. I'm also years behind on Family Guy, but I don't give a shit. What I need to do is watch through all of King of the Hill. I've never sat down and just watched straight through all of King of the Hill. And I feel like that's something that I absolutely need to do because I've seen a lot of King of the Hill episodes and I've loved most of them. So what I really need to do is just watch some fucking King of the Hill. I also really like The Flash. You lost the link to Toku King? You could just Google it, you know. But I'll Google it for you. You know, no one ever told me, at least I don't think anyone ever really told me what they thought about Toku King Episode 8. Because Episode 8 finally revealed the villain. And I held a live stream. Because remember, after each episode of Toku King came out, I would always hold a live stream. And when I held the Episode 8 live stream, like nobody showed up. So I never heard what everybody thought of Episode 8. I also have another podcast if you're interested in that. Toku King. Here's a little behind the scenes story about Toku King. It was originally going to have, you're welcome. It was originally going to have a theme song. Toku King was. And every person that I contracted to make a theme song for Toku King bailed on me. Like, the first person, I was like, hey, you want to make a song for Toku King? And the first person told me no right at the beginning, which was totally fine. They were like, the kind of song you want isn't really my style. I'm not sure if I could pull it off or do it justice. I think you should do someone who's closer to that style. And I was like, okay, thank you. That's fine. I believe, I can't remember their name. I wish I could shout them out, but they do great original music. They do all the original music for Lionel Jeffries short films. Lionel Jeffries, great YouTuber. Check him out. He doesn't post a lot, but when he does post, it is quality. Then you also, Creationzilla, another kaiju YouTuber, told me that he had a guy that did music, and that guy accepted, and he was very mean to me. He like got angry at me because I was asking him questions. Like, of course I'm going to ask you questions, right? Like, he was getting angry at me because I was asking him questions about the type of stuff he could do and about how much it would cost me and etc. And he was like really, really rude. And if I was not desperate at the time, I would not have worked with him. And I do not recommend him. He was very rude. And then even after he like tried to make, like, I was like, I want it to sound like one of the Tokusatsu theme songs. I want it to sound like a Power Rangers theme or a Kamen Rider theme or an Ultraman theme, that type of music. And he was like, okay. And then he was like, what about this? And he gave me this, like, it sounded like the theme song from a Dracula movie. Like, it was very slow, very dark, very depressing, no lyrics. And I was like, this is 100% the exact opposite of what I wanted. And he was like, well, I guess I just can't do it then. And I was like, yeah, I guess you can't. I don't know why you didn't just tell me that. And then he was like trying to be, and then he like wanted to be my friend. He like kept messaging me on my personal Discord, trying to get like, trying to get me to be like his buddy. And I was like, I don't want to be your fucking buddy, dude. But he was like really rude, and there's no way he's ever going to make it in the music industry with that attitude. I'm never going to work with him again. But apparently, he's another kaiju YouTuber, but it's not. I'm just not going to work with him again. It's not going to happen. Then I went on to like an actual site where you can post ads for actual musicians. And I was like, I need a 1 minute song for a podcast, original song, vocals included. If you can't sing it, I can sing it. That's fine, but you need to write it. I'll give you $100 for a minute-long song. $100 for a minute. I thought that was pretty fair. And I got a lot of emails that were like, could you do it for 500? And I was like, I'm not going to give you $500 for a minute. I'd give you $500 for like a 3.5 minute song, like a full length song. That makes more sense, but not 1 minute long, not a 1 minute long song. That's not worth $500 to me. And then this one artist, she was like, hey, I will make the song for $100 and I'll sing it. And I was like, thank you. That's great. And for a while, she was in contact with me. She would send me the lyrics. I would approve the lyrics and everything. She kept calling the hero Red Ronin. She could never remember his name. Every time she'd send me lyrics, I'd be like, his name is not Red Ronin. His name is Toku King. You have to change these lyrics. Stop calling him Red Ronin. That is not his name. And that, I was always really polite about it, but she kept doing it like she wasn't listening to me. And then eventually she just disappeared. Like she disappeared for like 3 months. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not getting the song. But at the same time, Toku King itself was kind of having trouble then, production wise, because that's when Toku King was going to be a live action show. Because remember, Toku King was originally going to be live action. And I had actors, I had a whole cast and crew ready to go. But then the main suit actor who played Toku King turned out to be an alcoholic. And he would never, ever like set dates to try on costumes and stuff because I had to fit the costumes to him. He's taller and thinner than me. I couldn't just do it myself. I had to have him to try on the costumes. And he'd always be like, oh, after I can do like these days during the week after work at this time. And I would be like, okay, let's get together then. And he said, all right. And then I would ask him for his address, and he would never give it to me. And then I was telling my friend who owns a comic book store, I was like, my main actor, so and so, he won't, like, he keeps agreeing to meet, but then when it's time to meet, he won't give me his address or anything. And he just ghosts me and ignores me until I ask again after the time has already passed. And he was like, well, when were you supposed to meet him last? And I was like, 5 o'clock Friday. And then my friend was like, oh, well, 5 o'clock Friday, he was drunk as a skunk in my store. So apparently, every time, it turns out, every time he was supposed to meet with me, he was getting drunk at the comic book store. He was drunk at the comic book store. He was just getting drunk downtown every time he was supposed to meet with me. And that was not good. And then and because of that and other stuff, the project took too long and lots of people were dropping out of the project. Like, you know how at the end of Toku King, I go special thanks to, and then I mention a bunch of people? Those are the people that were originally going to be in the live action show. Eddie Chang was going to be the suit actor for all the monsters and the bad guys. Ian McNeil was going to be a suit actor. Samson West, the well-known kaiju YouTuber, was going to be an actor, and also he was going to do behind-the-scenes stuff. He was going to like do lighting and stuff. Cameron Gowen was a friend of mine who does lighting in the film industry. He was going to do stuff, all those names and stuff. And yeah, so she disappeared for like 3 months, and I was like, I guess she's not doing the song anymore. And then after that 3 months, she appeared again. And she was like, I'm still working on the song. I know it's been 3 months. And I was like, holy shit. So thank God I didn't pay her up front. So she was very unprofessional. She wouldn't devote the time to it. I still don't have the song from her. She never canceled it. I never canceled it, but I've never heard from her again. And part of me is afraid that if I commission a new theme song from somebody, then she's going to pop up out of the blue and be like, hey, I finished your song. Give me my money. Which I wouldn't give her the fucking money, because I wouldn't take the song and I wouldn't give her the money because it's been over a year and I don't have my fucking song. Actually, it's been almost 2 years. And speaking of Taco King, the actor who was supposed to, the suit actor who was supposed to play Toku King, I played Toku King before he transformed, and after he transformed, a suit actor would do it so I could direct, because I can't direct in a helmet while doing action scenes. I just can't do it. He would always call himself the Taco King in the group chat for the production, and it annoyed the shit out of me. I hated it so much. He would be like, I am the Taco King. I demand tacos. And I was like, dude, take this seriously. This is an actual production. You need to actually show up, and you need to try on your costumes, and you guys need to learn your scripts and etc. And then he was just like, no, I'm just going to make Taco King jokes, and then I'm going to get drunk and not show up. So that happened. So eventually I was like, there's no way live action is going to work. It costs way too much money, takes way too much time. I need way too many people. So one day I was listening to the Power Rangers audio drama podcast. And I was like, you know what? If I just made Toku King like this, I could do it. I could do it if I made Toku King an audio drama. So I did. And I got people on board with that. The two people I had helping me were two other kaiju YouTubers, Project Godzilla and Samson West. both personal friends of mine. Y'all are probably subscribed at least to Samson West. You see Project Godzilla in chat and stuff and comment sections on my videos all the time. He hooks me up with figures sometimes too. So in the first episode, remember how the first episode had a bunch of sound effects and stuff? Project Godzilla did that. And then he was supposed to do that for all the other episodes, but he didn't. He just didn't do it. So I was like, okay, well, I can't keep waiting for this. I'm not good at that type of editing. I'll admit it. I'm not good at audio editing. I'm not. So I'm really not good at editing at all, to be completely honest. I'm sure you've all realized that by now. So I was like, you know what? I'll just upload them as they are. No sound effects. They can just use the theater of the mind a little more. And I don't think anyone had a problem with it. No one told me, oh man, I wish this had the sound effects back. Nobody said that. I think everyone was just so grateful to have new episodes that they didn't care. The reason the season has not been finished is because no one will voice Chief. There's a major character who goes by the name Chief. He is an engineer. He makes lots of gear for Toku King to use and etc. He created the Toku Changer that allows Toku King to transform. He's a major character. Samson West was originally going to voice him, but Samson was always very busy with his film job. Samson West worked in the film industry like I did once upon a time. He made a better living from it than I did, obviously, though. And he was just too busy with that. But then the poor guy got laid off from that job because of the pandemic. And when that job laid him off, they took all his fancy audio recording equipment because it was all from his work. So he doesn't have equipment to record audio anymore, and he lives way too far from me for us to meet up. We live in the same state, actually, which is one of the reasons we became friends, because I bought something from him. I bought a YMSF Varen from him, and then we realized we lived in the same state, and we were like, oh, damn, Kaiju fans in the same state, and we became buddies. But yeah, he lost all his recording equipment. So he was like, sorry, man, I can't do it anymore. And I was like, it's okay, dude. It's not your fault. I completely understand. So then I asked Project Godzilla, I was like, you do a lot of voices, dude. Do you think you could voice Chief for me? He said yes. And I've had no return on that. Episode 9 is the shortest episode. Episode 9 is just a conversation between Dan Kujo, aka Toku King, and Chief. That's all it is. It's very short. I don't have the audio for it. And then, obviously, I can't do episode 10, which is the season finale, until I've done episode 9. But even if I had episode 9, I wouldn't be able to do episode 10 because Chief is in episode 10 for one scene. One scene. But I can't produce the full episode until I have the audio for that scene. And then the worst part is Chief, after season 10, is a major character. Like every episode, major character. So I really need to find someone that can reliably voice Chief for the upcoming future. I just don't have that person. And yeah, I could go on Fiverr, pay someone like $5 to $10 an episode to voice Chief. But one, I don't make enough from ad revenue to justify that. I don't make enough from ad revenue to justify that. I've probably made $5 from all 8 episodes of Toku King. And then that adds up. Unless I'm like actively getting sponsors and I'm really making a profit on it, paying people to be in it is something I can't do. Unless, of course, I crowdfund, which is possible. I could crowdfund for season 2, but I'm not even done with season 1. So it's kind of a mess. It's really kind of a mess because Chief is in every episode after season 1 ends. He's in every special. He's in every episode. Chief is a major, major, major character. And I really need someone else to voice Chief because I already voice every character in season 1, and that's a lot. All right. I found so season 2 and 3 has a female character. I have found a voice for the female character, a reliable voice for the female character. She's in my Dungeons and Dragons group. Her name's KeoCat. She just got a new mic and everything. She's ready to go. But I can't find anyone to play Chief. No one wants to play Chief. I wish I could pay somebody. I really do. If the show was making money, I would 100% pay somebody. Let me go to the show right now. Let me go to the show and see how much money it's made. Let's log into Anchor. Toku King, the Tokusatsu audio drama. There is $3.99 in my wallet. So, Toku King has one sponsor, and over all 8 episodes, Toku King has made $3.99. $3.99 for 8 episodes. That's not anything at all. And these episodes, only the first 2 even break 100 views. Like, that's not good. People aren't listening. But I still want to make it because it's fun to make, you know? I'm not doing it. If I was making this for the money, I wouldn't use characters from other franchises, right? Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Godzilla, those characters would not be canon in the universe if I was trying to make money. Because if I was trying to make money, you know, I wouldn't be able to use those characters legally. But it's pretty fucking... Like, I just want to be able to make the show. I know you guys like the show. I'm very thankful you like my Toku Kaiju show. I bought a Godzilla costume for like a bunch of money that I'm never going to use because I bought it for this show. But I'm glad you guys like the show. I need to cash out. I need this money. I can't cash out because you have to have $10 or more in your wallet. Fuck. I could have sworn I cashed out on my other podcast, though. I could have sworn I've cashed out on my other podcast. My other podcast is Tabletop Recap. And it's actually my biggest project right now. Are you fucking kidding me, Google? Damn it. Yeah, the $10 thing must be a new rule because my other podcast has made $5.69 over all time, but in my wallet I only have $142. So I want Chief to kind of be grizzled, but not like angry or anything. I want him to be like he's seen a lot, but he hasn't let it get him down. I kind of want him to be an older gentleman, maybe around like 40. I know that's not older, but older than Toku King, because Toku King is in his like mid 20s. And, but I want Chief to be like in his 40s. Damn it. So yeah, next episode of Toku King is just going to be Chief's introduction. It's going to be Toku King confronting Chief about something that happened in episode 8 that he suspects Chief knows about. Then episode 10 is going to be the big battle with Toku Dark. And by the way, if you ever lose the link for Toku King again, it's in the description of every video. The first 3 links in all my video are links to my podcasts. One of my podcasts I was supposed to make with Lionel Jeffries, but it kind of just died. Damn it, I gotta change a bunch of passwords now. Fuck. There was apparently a data breach, and I have 10 compromised passwords. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Think of me fondly when we say goodbye. Remember me once in a while. Please promise me you'll try. Oh shit. Someone just sent me something on Reddit. Someone on Reddit just told me I look like the child you see at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night when Golden Freddy says it's me, but you look worse. Like, you're roasting me with a Five Nights at Freddy's reference, dude? That's pretty cringy. That's pretty fucking cringy. Yeah, episode 8. The villain is finally revealed in episode 8. Pretty good. I'm going to watch this video of a hedgehog running in a wheel because it's my friend's hedgehog. She has a hedgehog cam, So she has like a security camera in her house that's on top of her hedgehog's cage, and it looks down in the cage 24/7. So she can always check on him. It's pretty cute. Can I roast them back? No, it's on our Roast Me. Like, you know, the Reddit where you post a picture of yourself and then people roast you? Like, I literally asked for it. There's some pretty good roasts on here, actually. Some were pretty creative. But the thing is, I actually made a video of me. Oh man, the Five Nights at Freddy's one that I just said was cringy got a bunch of downvotes. That's pretty fucking funny. It has -2 votes. And it started at 1. So 3 people have downvoted it. That's funny. But yeah, I made a vlog of me just reading the roasts, and that's going to go up on the second channel at some point. I got a lot of stuff going up on the second channel. I got that Dracula movie review, I got the Killers from Space movie review, the Phantom from Space movie review, White Pongo movie review. I got the Reddit roasting vlog. I got a vlog about kaiju streaming services. What else is fucking going up on the second channel soon? There's a vlog about the Ultraman anime. There's a vlog about Gamera and what should happen with Gamera but isn't going to. There's going to be a vlog about SRS Cinema. I'm going to re-review The Vampire Bat very soon. I also have an announcement video for the second channel because the action figure hauls, the collection updates, and the comic book collection update haul videos are on the second channel, but I'm going to move them to this channel. They started out on this channel, then they went to my original second channel that's now debunked, and then now they're on V3 Productions, which is my current second channel. So they're moving from the second channel back over here because I post too much on the second channel. Almost everything I make gets posted on the second channel these days. So I'm moving some content here. And since action figure and comic book reviews are on this channel, it only makes sense to have the action figure and comic book collection updates on this channel, I think. So they're moving back to this channel, which is really exciting. Hopefully that's exciting. It's basically the same thing for me. I'm still making the same video. I just post it somewhere else. That's that. Think of me fondly when you say goodbye. Remember me once in a while. Please promise me you'll try. Damn, it's almost 11 here. I doubt I'll sleep much tonight anyways. Share your thoughts for me. Share your thoughts for me. I got a few notifications, but none I really care about. So what's up, guys? What's going on? What are we doing here? You're doing homework at this time? Well, I don't know how late it is for you, but it's really late for me. I should probably go. I'll take one more swig of orange juice. I'll check my phone. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I really should have messaged someone like an hour and a half ago. Yeah, you guys are right. As I said, I do have an interview tomorrow. The interview's really chill, though. Like my interview, he was just like, show up between 3 and 7, just whenever. I was like, okay. It makes me feel like it would be a pretty chill job. So I hope I get it. I hope I'm not in trouble for not messaging. Oh, man. I'm sure he's fine. He's a pretty chill guy. So yeah, I do have that job thing tomorrow, but it's not first thing in the morning, which is good. But first thing in the morning, I do have to be back here, and I do have to I have to take care of chickens and this dog. The dog is outside and he's barking up a storm. I'm going to let him in the house so the neighbors can actually sleep. I bet they're very annoyed at me for not letting the dog in the house sooner. Doggy, doggy. Oh, fuck me. Hey, good boy. Come on in the house. Oh, that's a good boy. That's a very good boy. You guys want to see the good boy? Where are you at, good boy? There you are. Hey, good boy. His name's Duke. He's a good guy. But would you guys be interested in a live stream tomorrow night as well? Because my nights are pretty open right now. Okay, so if you guys are interested in a stream tomorrow, I'll definitely, I'll try to do one tomorrow. Even if I don't get the job, or if I don't know if I get the job, I probably won't be too down because I'm used to it. But yeah, I might stream tomorrow night. Thanks for distracting me pretty effectively tonight. I don't think you know what? I just realized I haven't talked. So I have a boyfriend now. I haven't talked to him about the election at all. I don't think he can vote because he is from another country. I don't think he can vote. I don't think he can vote. I'm going to ask him. They just asked me who I voted for the very first time. That's like, questions like that are like, geez, 50-50 shot. Let's see what they say. It's actually kind of disturbing. My chest is like boom, 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 boom. Telling your significant other who you voted for in this current day and age is pretty fucked. I said I wouldn't talk about this stuff on the live stream, but okay, they said they'd vote for the same. Oh, who? Oh, but they can't vote. I was right. They can't vote. I'll send a little smiley emoji. He likes emojis. Not too much, though, thankfully. Damn, he's replying fast tonight. But yeah, that's basically it, everyone. I'm not tired. I'm really not tired. But I do need to go home. I do need to go home. Actually, let me check my schedule. Okay, so Sunday is when this current job ends. I'm emotionally tired. I am emotionally tired. I am not physically tired. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Well, there's no description on the live stream usually. I should start adding one. We got some great videos coming out tomorrow. On this channel, we have a new G&G coming out tomorrow. I think it premieres at like 6 a.m. or something. And then on the second channel, we have a podcast going up. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. And I will see you all next time. Bye for now. Kaiju Gang.